I'm Andrea Martone, Director of Communication for Selah Freedom, and I'm here today with Billy Babbino, who is the Director of Communications to A Door of Hope. Billy, for those who might not be familiar, tell us a little bit about A Door of Hope and what inspired your organization's mission to support those who are in foster care.
Absolutely. So 15 years ago, we started as an organization, as a ministry really, to bring hope to children in crisis, that we recruit, we train, we license, and we support Christian families who want to be involved in foster care. And so 15 years ago, we started off with a mission to see every single child in a loving Christian home. And so we've been doing it for 15 years. And in that time, we've licensed over 570 homes.
That's amazing. That's admirable.
Yes, it is. It started with just a dream of a few women at a church in St. Petersburg, Florida. And through lots of prayer, through some connections with local pastors, A Door of Hope was born. And we've been doing the work ever since.
Big things come from grassroots organizations.
Absolutely.
Billy, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Mhm.
What does this month represent for you and your team, and how does it help bring awareness to the realities children face every day who are in foster care or in need of foster care?
Yeah, for us, it really highlights the reality that we live in a world that unfortunately there are children that are not safe in the homes that they're in. They're experiencing abuse, neglect, and abandonment. And for us, we love what we do because those stories of abuse, those stories of trauma, don't have to have the final say for these children. That we get to work with and license and support families who step up and say these children who experienced just tremendous abuse, like we can take care of them. We can help these children feel loved, help them feel seen, help them feel valued, and understand that their story doesn't have to end with the abuse, that something better is out there.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, can you share a story, an anecdotal story, or an example that really illustrates the difference a door of hope makes in the lives of children and foster care families?
Absolutely. So we have so many great families that do such amazing work. And I was just talking to one of my colleagues this morning about a particular family in Bradenton, Florida, that they took in a sibling group of three children. And so, if you know anything about the foster care world, in the state of Florida, it's like almost 50% of kids are split up, brothers and sisters, because it's just not enough homes to take these children in. And so we had a family who said, well, we don't want the kids we take in to be part of that statistic. And so they took in three kids, and they had children of their own. And so they took in these three kids. And one of the oldest child they brought in was a 13-year-old girl. And this 13-year-old girl, before she was in their home, was in one of our group homes in the area. And so she was experiencing when she came into our home a little bit of loss because she had made friends in that group home. And there was one particular 15-year-old girl that she became friends with that she missed a lot. And so our foster mom went above and beyond to figure out, how do I get a hold of the people in this group home so I can have these girls visit each other and get to spend time with each other? And she did. And it's not easy to get a hold of a group home and to try to get in there, but she did. And after a few visits, the foster mom says, you know what? I don't want to do these visits anymore. This 15-year-old girl can come and live with us as well.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and so after a few weeks, the 15-year-old girl also moved into the home with them. And so we saw two huge things there that are rare in foster care. We saw a home that could take a big sibling group together, and we also saw a home that would take teenagers, because teenagers are some of the most vulnerable kids in foster care, but they're also the hardest to place.
Absolutely. I know, having raised teenage kids and having teenage grandchildren,
Mm.
just how difficult that is.
Yeah, I have two teenage girls at home right now.
Well, but I'm thinking, wow, they're going through so many hormonal changes, these
Mhm.
kids. They are going through so many psychological changes,
Mhm.
these children. They don't know where they belong, if they're loved.
Yeah.
And all we're doing, you're doing,
Mhm.
is finding them a home where they can experience love and safety.
Absolutely. So many of these children, like you said, just don't know if they're loved, have bounced around from home to home, placement to placement, and feel neglected. They feel like no one cares. And to be able to work with families that can just look at that child and say, you belong here, and we
Mhm,
want you here, and we love
mhm.
you, is a big deal.
It really is important that these children find homes that are private homes versus institutionalized homes. And when I say institutional, group homes is
Yeah.
considered institutional. Um, but do you find nowadays that families are out there willing to adopt these children? I mean, we're talking about a financial hardship to have, in this case, 4 new foster kids in that home. And mostly people work, they're double income, so they're both working. Uh, Do you find that there's less of a population out there who are willing to open their homes?
I think there are people who don't understand and have the full story
Mhm.
of whether or not they realize they can do it with 2 jobs. So many of our foster families are two-income homes, have jobs, and I think to let families know that there are so many resources available in our community. When you become a foster family, especially with a Door of Hope, you have a whole support system that's built around you, that you have, therapeutic care that we help offer, that there's daycare subsidy if you have younger children that need help with daycare. Kids can be involved in after-school programs. So if you're working full-time, if both mom and dad are working, you absolutely could do this and do it really well. My wife and I both work full-time, and we have children, and we can parent. It's no different than if you're a foster parent. So there's definitely families that don't realize the help that exists, but once they do, I think they do pretty well, and they get excited to help out with that.
So, if anyone is watching this who is considering
Mm.
working with these kids and teens as a foster parent, how would they? What would be the step that they take to learn about it and be trained? I'm assuming there's some sort of training.
Yes. So for us, for Door of Hope, and we license in 11 counties in Florida, the very first step is to come to one of our 1 hour online info sessions. No commitment, no pressure. You're not agreeing to take a child with you that night. It's just showing up in a Zoom meeting. You can be in your pajamas if you want, and just learning more and just hearing stories of what it could look like to step into foster care. And because I think so many people are afraid to take that first step because they think they're committing to something big, but we don't ask for that big commitment. We just want people to find out more. So we recommend for us, you go to our website, adoorofhope.com, and you can sign up for one of those info sessions. We do them every Monday night.
What about the communities in which you serve? They might not want to be foster care parents, but they want to help.
Mhm.
How are some of those ways that communities can help?
There's different ways. For one, I'm going to say, and this isn't even necessarily with the Door of Hope, but in general, if you know a foster parent goes to your church, you work with a foster parent, ask them one day, I'm bringing pizza over on Friday night. What toppings do you like? Don't ask them if you can bring it. Just tell them you're going to bring it and ask them the toppings. There's something magical, I really believe, about just telling a foster parent, hey, I see you and I want to support you. Most foster parents actually quit within 1 year nationally because they feel like no one is supporting them. Now, for Door of Hope families, it's different. Our families last about 3.5 to 4 years, and they do have support. So I would say support a foster family you already know. If you want to formally get involved with us at A Door of Hope, we have so many volunteer opportunities, whether it be as an individual, as a business, as a church, whether it be supporting our families, maybe delivering meals, and we can set that up. Maybe it's going to a house and helping with yard work or housework. I was just joking with one of our foster moms recently that when she became a foster parent, she didn't realize how much laundry she'd be doing. She's doing laundry all day, every day. And we've actually had volunteers go and help foster moms do laundry and just come over and sit with them and help them fold some clothes.
And A Door of Hope is a faith based organization. If you are churches or synagogues out there, this is a great way to tell your parishioners about what this nonprofit does and how they might help. What about some current statistics? Do you have any kind of statistics you might share about how many foster care kids there are in the state of Florida or nationally, whatever?
Yeah, well, in the state of Florida, especially where we are, there's over 13,000 kids in foster care, which is a really big number. But I'll tell you, if you were to ask me that 5 years ago, it would have been well over 22,000 children. So the state of Florida has done a lot of good work in some preventative measures to help children who are at risk from being removed, maybe giving support to their families so they can stay. But 13,000, while it's not as big as it used to be, we still don't have enough homes for these kids. And so we still need the community to step up and maybe say, what could I do? Maybe I could foster.
Once again, awareness is key.
Yes.
And like Selah Freedom, we are out there to raise awareness everywhere. about all of the different components that help in healing our children and our teens. I want to thank you, Billy. You're doing God's work.
Oh, thank you so much.